Well, the fig shuffle is upon us. Unfortunately, the polar vortex has unfortunately brought in the cooler weather, and I need to start putting up my fig trees. So this will be some fun. I never look forward to this part of the season, but it's very necessary. So luckily, a lot of my trees have been pruned down, which is going to make storage a little bit easier. That's why I started my cutting cell a little bit earlier. So this will make it a lot easier here to stack them. But yeah, as we move along, some of these bigger branch trees are going to have to get pruned down as well. And yeah, hopefully I can get it all done before tomorrow night, which is when we're supposed to be hitting, you know, around 22-degree weather. So definitely is a challenge, but we're going to get it done. So we're about to get started. I have a couple of things I'm going to need for a yard cart, which is a gorilla cart. Also this hand truck is basically a 4-in-1. Allows me to carry two 10-gallon pots at once. I can also convert it into a cart itself as well, a 4-wheel cart at that. But yes, save your back. If you are lifting, if you don't have a cart or anything like this, make sure you're lifting with your knees, not with your back. A couple other things I'm going to need is these gardening gloves and some plant tags, as well as a marker. As time passes on, you know, some of your tags can get lost. It's always a good idea to mark your pots. I use an acrylic pen. This has been on here for at least 2-3 years, as well as plant tags. This Trees of Joy, Ender Red Capper Fig, you know, it's marked. I just like to hedge my bets, make sure that I add more than just one plant tag. My wife did make some custom tags for me, which I need to actually have her place another order for me, because these are very, very hardy. I've had these for at least 4 years, and you know, rain, sunshine, snow, it doesn't matter. They're etched and they're very hardy. They're actually UV plastic, so they're definitely going to last a long time. But anyways, this is a great idea just to cover your bets. Make sure that you mark and remark your pots while you're storing them. That way you don't get confused once spring arrives. All right, let's get started. So I began by clearing out this space in the garage, laying out some cardboard. Luckily we had a lot of cardboard available because of Christmas, so a lot of boxes I broke down, I interlocked them. That's just kind of add some kind of barrier insulation for the pots. Might be a little bit of overkill, but potted figs are a little different. You never know how cold the floor can get, so I think this should help tremendously. Whenever you store your fig plants for the winter inside the garage, you want to ensure that you give them a deep watering. Luckily I got a bit of a rain before this happened, so a lot of the soil is still wet and moist. It's holding moisture, so that's a good thing. I won't have to water these deeply. In fact, I'm not even going to water them. I'll store them inside of the garage, and they will not need any watering, possibly the whole, you know, until springtime. The last thing you want to do is store, you know, dried soiled pots and have to water them, which can draw in gnats and fungus and rot. Eventually your trees will rot, and you definitely don't want that. So make sure if your soil is dry, you can test all the way by putting your finger deep into the soil. If it's still dry, give it a real deep watering. Make sure it does drain out completely before you store them inside of the garage. But this looks good. If you look, it's very moist. So these guys are ready. So I've started by bringing out some of the smaller pots, and I like to put them in groups, like these white buckets. They're all the same height, same size, same maker, same thing here. I know from us being gardeners, it's very hard to just stick to one type of pot. You know, if time permits and you know, the finances permit, it's definitely great to just stick to one type of pot, at least brands and sizes. like these 5-gallon pots. These are perfect because I can stack them like this, and here in the center I can add another pot, as you can see there, and it just helps to stack them up so that you can save space. As you can see here, it's leveled. They're holding up this other pot, so I can't really do that over here. You know, I could, but then we're leaning over on one side or another, and that can easily break off a branch. So if at all possible, try to group them, keep them in the same height, same size, which I'll be doing here as well. This is the progress so far. Another thing I want to highlight is that if at all possible, it's important to add the to keep your labels facing front. That way, if you need to access one of them for whatever reason, be it for a cutting or whatever the case may be, relabeling, it'll be easier for you to locate them if the labels are facing you. So in this situation, I have a Col de Dame Ramada, and I have the tag here as well, Col de Dame Ramada, which helps me identify it. Here's an Angelito. I created this plant tag because I lost the other one, but I know it to be Angelito. And yeah, we're making some progress. The sun is starting to set. The cold weather's kicking in, so we're getting there. Yeah, the current progress, still some daylight. Luckily, I got some reinforcements. My sons came in to help. We are almost there. Still got a little bit more to go. The madness, absolute madness. We're almost done. And I say almost just to be optimistic, but it is almost, we're almost there. I mean, my back's starting to give out. Definitely need to reconsider this coming year. This tree right here does not want to go to sleep. This is Vista. It just kept on producing big old green leaves. The rest of the trees are dormant for the most part. But yeah, we're almost there. The cold air started to kick in. I can feel it. And all that's left are these mulberries. Unfortunately, don't have the space for them. So luckily, they're a little bit more cold hardy than your fig. So I pray for them. Hopefully they can make it through this little storm, cold front. Anyhow, everything has been cleared out thanks to the boys. Empty spaces. Beautiful sight. This is just plain old dirt. And just feels good to see this open space. Till next spring. My prized possession, my Frankenfig. It's a Celeste. She's almost 6 years old. And I have a Nuestra Senora del Carmen grafted onto her right here. Beautiful graft. And another variety that I've been trialing for someone in California. And I'm going to keep adding on to it, but I'm going to keep also the original Celeste, which gives off a beautiful lavender colored Celeste fruit. Delicious. These are the last of the Mohicans. I'm trying to figure out a way to get them in here while giving myself a walk space. So all in all, Tetris came in handy as a youngster. Stack them up high. We are all done. It was not an easy feat, but it was done. It is done. Stacks and stacks. I will be printing these down and offering more cuttings, probably on Figbid, just to help myself out. It's wild. Well, thank you guys for being part of the journey. Till next spring.